Okay, so we have different types of tubing in our lab. This is something I would call the garden hose, and it's fantastic for watering the garden, but not for the lab use. Unless you want to use it for the water bath or for the exhaust. It's very thick and very stiff and made of rubber, and for any measurement of the gas it won't be good. So water and exhaust, it's fine. Another type of tubing we have is a rubber or silicone. How to recognize what rubber or silicone? Well, silicone is very soft. You can bend it the way you want. The outside layer is not smooth, not slick, it's more matte. The thickness of the wall can be different and the diameter can be different. Sometimes it's glossy like this one and a bit more rigid, but these are standard silicone, these are rubber or plastic. This one is less transparent, a bit bigger diameter, but these are all not suitable for gas measurement as well. So this one you use for exhaust or for the pump, whenever the pump is after the measurement cell. Okay, another type of tubing we use is a Teflon tubing, and here we have two different diameters. This one is a 1/4 inch and this one is 1/8. We also have a bigger diameter, but not here. Teflon tubing can be either milky color or transparent color like this one. And the difference between Teflon and silicone is that Teflon is quite rigid. You cannot bend it completely. It's a bit stiff, very glossy, very slick, and in general it's hard. The Teflon, the general name is Teflon, but Teflon may have different chemical composition, and then it's called PTFE, FEP, PFA. You need to ask your supervisor which one we have, which one you should use. If you have dedicated tubing for certain measurement, you can put a label on with ozone only, for example here, or we have here the label which says NO. So then you use this certain tubing only for such measurements. And the last type of tubing we have is Tygon. And here I have Tygon attached to the pieces of equipment that comes from the analyzer. Tygon we usually have from 2B Technologies, and Tygon is a very interesting tubing because it's soft outside, stiff inside. You can see that there is a name here, Tygon, and if you look closer, it has two layers. So the Tygon usually is used inside the equipment, the instruments, and what is interesting, it provides the flexibility of the outside material and the inertness of the inside material. Okay, now the last one, the black tubing, which is called conductive tubing, and here we have two types, a very soft one and elastic tubing, and the other one which is a bit more stiff and glossy. You can see that the inside there is different wall thickness and they behave a bit differently, but in general this kind of tubing is used for PM measurements only. So for instruments like dust truck, AE33, AE42, AE51, CPC, and other particulate matter analyzer. It's very important about tubing. If we want to use the tubing, you can cut the tubing with 3 types of tools: scissors, knife, or this kind of cutter. However, never use scissors for Teflon because Teflon is too hard. Scissors are good for silicone because it's soft enough just to cut. If you want to cut Teflon, you need to take the sharp knife and just cut in a layer perpendicular to the outside wall. Cutter will also work nice if it's sharp enough, like this. Then another thing is that very often if the tubing does not fit your equipment and you know that you should not use the silicone because silicone will react with your gas, what you can do if you don't have the Teflon tubing that will match your fitting, what you can do, you can take a very short part and then connect in a way that there is minimum amount of the silicone tubing reacting with your gas. So if you connect like this with silicone, it's still fine. But you should avoid this kind of solution because the best tubing for gas measurements is Teflon, and for the particulate matter measurement is conductive tubing. But this solution is also possible.